I got hired to watch a storage facility overnight. The rules were the only thing keeping me alive. I wasn't planning to work the 4th of July, but I also wasn't planning on getting fired 2 weeks ago either. So yeah, when I got a call from a job I barely remembered applying to, offering $30 an hour for an overnight gig, I said yes before I even asked what it was. The guy on the phone didn't waste time. You'll be at Beast Box Self-Storage, the east facility, not the main one. You'll have the place to yourself. Nothing physical, just a security watch and following some routine. You start at midnight, payment same day. The way he said following some routine didn't sit right, but I needed the cash. Rent was already late. He gave me a gate code and said everything I needed would be inside Unit B104. No in-person contact, he added. All instructions will be written. Follow them. Don't call this number again. 11:56 p.m. Vista Box East Facility. The place looked normal, a little rundown. Chain link fence, cracked pavement, dark as hell. I rolled up to B104. The unit was already cracked open like it was expecting me. Inside, just a folding chair, a blue cooler, a plastic crate with a small TV, and a clipboard taped to the wall. Sticky notes were everywhere. On the TV, use only if told. On the crate, don't touch unless it's 3:30 a.m. On the clipboard, read first, don't skip anything. I grabbed the clipboard. First page said in big, bold text, Night Procedures, Shift 1, do not disregard any rules. 1. Clock in at exactly 12 a.m. by writing your full name and time on the back of this page. Late is terminated. 2. Stay inside Unit B104 at all times. Only exit if instructed via clipboard. 3. Every 45 minutes, shine the flashlight across to Unit C201 to C206. If you see anything, turn off the light and wait 3 minutes. 4. If you hear your name whispered, ignore it. No one's outside. Between 1:30 and 2 a.m., Unit C202's light might turn on. If it stays on for over 5 minutes, close your door and wait 15 minutes. At 3:30 a.m., open the crate. Inside will be a box labeled Contingency. Do not open the box unless something is missing from the clipboard. 7. If the cooler starts humming, unplug it. Do not open it. 8. If someone knocks twice, don't respond unless there's a third knock within 5 seconds. 9. Watch the TV only if it turns on by itself. Do not touch the volume. 10. If the rules change, obey the new rules. You'll know if they change. I wrote my name and the time. 12, on the dot. That was the start of the weirdest, most nerve-wracking shift I've ever worked. Flashlight check. Shined it across the lot. Looked empty until I thought I saw movement in one of the unit windows. Just a flicker. But I still turned off the light. Waited 3 full minutes. Didn't see anything else. At 1:14 a.m., the cooler started humming again. Unplugged, untouched. I yanked the cord anyway. It stopped. Didn't open it. 1:31 a.m. Unit C202 lit up. I watched it for 5 minutes. At 5 minutes and 10 seconds, it was still glowing. So I closed the unit door like the rule said. Sat in darkness. 15 minutes later, when I checked again, light was off. 2:40 a.m. Whispers. My name. Over and over. Soft and clear like someone just outside the unit. Jeremy, come look. But I didn't move. Didn't respond. Clipboard said not to. 3:30 a.m. Opened the crate. Inside was a box labeled contingency. Didn't open it because the clipboard still had all its pages. But there was a message taped under the lid. Do not trust new rules that appear after 4 a.m. 4:11 a.m. A new rule appeared on the clipboard. Different paper, different font. It said, "You may now open the cooler, dispose of its contents behind Unit C206, and return within 90 seconds." It directly contradicted the earlier rule. I froze. Didn't know what to trust. Then, the cooler started humming again, even though it was unplugged. I opened the contingency box. Inside, earplugs and a piece of duct tape with a message, "Do not leave." So, I didn't. Didn't touch the cooler, didn't open the door, just sat down, put in the earplugs, taped the door shut. 5:08 a.m. The TV turned on by itself. Just static. Then words. Not everyone follows the rules. Not everyone stays put. Then it shut off. 5:49 a.m. Someone started banging on the unit. Hard. Loud. But the third knock didn't come within 5 seconds. So I didn't open the door. Eventually the banging stopped. At 6:59 a.m., a black SUV pulled in. No plates, no windows rolled down. Someone left an envelope on the ground in front of my unit. I opened the door and stepped outside. Inside the envelope, $240 in cash. No note. Just a sticky that said, "More if you come back tomorrow. They always ask for the quiet ones." June 30th, 11:47 p.m. I thought summer vacation was gonna be all about bonfires, cheap beer, and maybe visiting my cousins down in Flagstaff. Instead, I'm sitting in a park ranger station up in Oregon, in the middle of nowhere, getting paid $30 an hour to babysit trees and dirt. Don't get me wrong, the pay sounded good. Too good. That's why I took the job. It was a Craigslist ad. Said they needed an overnight ranger for a temporary summer assignment at Hemlock Ridge National Forest. Shift starts at midnight, ends at 6 a.m. No tourists, no hikers, just routine checks and watch duty. No interview, just a call. Guy on the phone was short, didn't even give his name. He said, "Follow the instructions when you arrive and you'll be fine." Then he hung up. Didn't even say goodbye. 12:01 a.m. Ranger Station, Hemlock Ridge. The ranger station is a small wood building about the size of a double-wide trailer. Inside, there's a tiny kitchen, a desk with an old computer, 2 chairs, and a giant map of the forest pinned to the wall. There's also a radio, a logbook, and a binder labeled Overnight Shift Protocol, Summer 2023. The first page was a type sheet that just said, "Welcome, Night Ranger. Do not share these rules. Do not leave until shift end. Do not make phone calls. Follow the protocol. Survive the night." Great start. Rules for Hemlock Ridge Night Rangers. 1. Log your arrival in the logbook. Sign your name and time. 2. Every hour, check the perimeter using the lantern provided. Do not use flashlights outside. The beam attracts them. 3. At 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. sharp, place a scoop of salt in front of the west-facing door. 4. Do not respond to voices from outside,
even if they sound familiar. 5. If the ranger truck's headlights turn on by themselves, do not investigate. Close all blinds and wait 5 minutes. 6. The phone in the ranger station may ring. If it does, unplug it immediately. Do not answer. 7. If you spot a figure in a park ranger uniform near the tree line, do not acknowledge them. There is only one night ranger. 8. If the sky turns red before sunrise, stay inside and lock both doors. Do not look out the windows. Wait until the sun rises normally. 9. If any new rules appear in the binder, follow them, even if they contradict the old ones. 10. If a second logbook appears beside yours, leave immediately. Do not sign it, do not touch it, just go. Honestly, I thought it was some weird joke, like hazing the new guy. I signed the logbook anyway. Jeremy K., 12:01 a.m. The radio crackled randomly every few minutes, but no voices, just static. At 1 a.m., I took the scoop of salt from the drawer and dropped it in front of the west door like the rule said. Didn't really know why I was doing it, but something about not doing it felt worse. 1:27 a.m. I was sitting at the desk, half watching some VHS wildlife tape on the little TV, when I heard footsteps crunching on the gravel outside, then knocking, 3 sharp taps, and a voice. "Hey, Jeremy! It's me, Kyle! Can you open up, man? My phone's dead. I've been trying to reach you." Kyle is my roommate back home. There's no way he was here. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. The knocking stopped. I unplugged the phone just in case. It hadn't rung yet, but I wasn't taking chances. 2:03 a.m. I did the second perimeter check. Lantern in hand, I walked the loop around the cabin. Everything was still. Quiet. Then I saw it. 2 faint pinpricks of light in the tree line, like eyes reflecting the lantern glow. They didn't blink, just watched me. I turned back without finishing the loop. 3 a.m. Another scoop of salt. This time, I swear, the moment it hit the wood floor, I heard something shuffle just outside the door. The truck headlights flashed once, then twice. I closed the blinds, locked the door. Waited. 3:49 a.m. The radio turned on by itself. It was someone breathing, heavy, slow, like they were right beside the mic. Then a voice. "Do you see me now?" I unplugged the whole unit from the wall. The breathing stopped. 4:15 a.m. There was a knock again, but not on the door, on the window. I didn't look, didn't move, just sat there holding the binder. I didn't even realize I was crying until the page beneath my hand got wet. 5:03 a.m. A new page appeared in the binder. Printed, crisp, still warm somehow. New rule. The first sun is a lie. Do not open the door until the second sun rises. I didn't understand what that meant until 5:47 a.m. when the sky started turning orange. But it wasn't gradual. It turned red, blood red, like someone had flipped a light switch. I locked both doors, stayed put. The red light lasted maybe 10 minutes, then faded. 6 a.m. Normal sunrise. I stepped outside. The forest looked completely normal again. Peaceful. There was a fresh envelope taped to the Ranger truck windshield. Inside, $180 in cash. No note. Just a handwritten line on the envelope that said, "Back tonight? $300. I don't know if I'll go back, but part of me feels like I don't have a choice. Like they already know I will.
I got hired to watch an empty parking garage overnight. The rules were weird. July 4th, 11:58 p.m. I should have been out watching fireworks like everyone else, but I was broke. Real broke. So when my phone buzzed with a call from a number I didn't recognize 2 minutes before midnight, I answered it, thinking maybe it was one of the job apps I'd been throwing resumes at. "Still looking for night work?" the guy said, like he already knew the answer. "Yeah," I said, sitting up from the couch. My apartment was hot and dead quiet, and the last pops of distant fireworks were echoing down the street outside. $30 an hour, overnight shift, starts tonight. You'll be alone, just keeping watch. It's at a location in North Cincinnati. You take it or leave it, but I need to know now." I paused for a second. "What's the job?" "Night supervisor. Place has been shut down for years, but we've had issues with squatters. Just watch the monitors, take notes, follow instructions." "Instructions?" "They'll be there when you arrive." 12:46 a.m. I pulled up to the place about 45 minutes later. It was an old fast food joint called Fry Canyon, sitting all by itself on the edge of a strip of warehouses. If you've ever seen those crumbling chains that never quite caught on, this was one of them. Sign was half lit, drive-through menu had all the numbers peeled off. There was a keycard envelope taped to the front glass door with my name written in marker. No note, just a keycard. Inside, the lights were dim, but still worked. Most of the furniture was pushed to one side like someone had been cleaning or tearing the place down halfway and gave up. I noticed cameras in the corners, 8 total. A metal folding table sat in the middle of the floor with a binder on top and a thermos beside it. The binder had one of those laminated plastic covers. No logo, just the words. Night Watch Protocol, effective July 1st. There was a post-it stuck to the front. "Read this, follow it, don't improvise." I sat down and opened the binder. Rules for the Night Watch. 1. Clock in using the key card by 1 a.m. sharp. No earlier, no later. 2. Watch the monitors at all times. Do not step outside. 3. If the camera feed for zone 6 flickers, look away immediately and count to 10. 4. At 2:30 a.m., walk to the fry station and turn on the pilot flame for exactly 3 seconds. No more, no less. 5. If you hear a knocking from the freezer, write it down, but do not respond. 6. If you see a second binder appear beside this one, close your eyes and wait for it to disappear. 7. A man in a gray polo may appear on camera 3. If he waves, do not wave back. 8. If bugs appear on the floor, light the candle in the thermos. Do not squash the bugs. 9. At 4 a.m., stand in the middle of the lobby and recite your name, birth date, and the phrase, "I am temporary." Don't eat or drink anything inside the restaurant, not even water. Clock out at exactly 6 a.m., not a minute before. I laughed a little, out loud, just sitting there with this weird binder and an old thermos candle. I figured it was some elaborate prank or hazing thing, maybe someone's idea of security theater. But whatever, I needed the money. I swiped the key card against the panel beside the kitchen door. The system beeped. 1 a.m. I was on the clock. 1:37. First half hour was fine. The camera feeds were all black and white, mostly boring. One camera showed the outside drive-thru lane, one pointed at the dusty booth seats, and the others were trained on the back kitchen, hallway, and parking lot. I was starting to get sleepy when camera 6, zone 6, started flickering. Remembering the rule, I turned my head and looked down, counted to 10. When I looked back, the feed was stable again. No one there, just some crates near the back door. I made a note of it in the notebook next to me. Honestly, I was more creeped out by how quiet the place was. No music, no cars, just the buzz of the monitors and my own breath. 2:26 a.m. I almost forgot Rule 4. I set a reminder on my phone, and when the alarm buzzed at 2:29, I got up and walked to the fry station. Everything looked like it hadn't been touched in years. I found the pilot knob and turned it on for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. I switched it off. No smoke, no noise, just that weird, greasy smell of old oil. I walked back to the table. The thermos was gone. 2:43 a.m. The freezer knocked. 3 short knocks like knuckles on hollow plastic. I froze. The binder said to write it down. I grabbed the pen and noted the time and what I heard. No more knocks came. I didn't check the freezer. Didn't want to. 3:08 a.m. A second binder appeared next to the first. I didn't see it arrive, just blinked and it was there. Identical to the one I already had. Same cover, no note. My skin went cold. I closed my eyes, tight. Waited. Maybe 15 seconds later, I peeked. Gone. 3:40 a.m. Bugs started crawling out from under the soda machine. Not roaches. These were weird, like silverfish but bigger, translucent. Their legs made almost no sound, but I could feel them, skittering. I lit the candle inside the thermos without thinking. They backed off, fast. Fast, like they couldn't stand the light. I didn't squash any, just sat there in the dim glow and tried not to panic. 4 a.m. I stood up in the middle of the lobby like the rules said. My heart was pounding. My name is Derek Martin, born March 11th, 1992. I am temporary. The second I said it, I felt a pulse. Not a sound, not a light. A pulse like the air pushed through me. All the monitors blinked at once. Then they were fine. 4:23 a.m. Camera 3 showed a man in a gray polo. He was standing just inside the frame, half shadowed, facing the camera. Still. He waved. I didn't. I held my breath. He didn't move again. He just stood there for 10 minutes. Then the feed blinked. When it came back, he was gone. 5 a.m. Nothing happened for an hour. I started writing this all down, not just for the notebook, but for myself, to stay grounded. I kept thinking maybe this was all some bizarre psychology experiment. Or maybe I'd fallen asleep. Or maybe the money was so good because I was being used. The rules weren't protection. They were obedience checks. And I was passing them. 5:52 a.m. Camera 6 flickered again. I turned my head and counted. This time, I felt something behind me while I counted. Like someone was leaning in, breathing by my ear. But when I looked back, nothing. Just the monitors, silent, as ever. 6 a.m. I clocked out exactly on time. The system beeped. I stood there for a second, expecting something. A person, a voice, a final scare. Nothing. I walked out into the morning sun. The sky was orange-blue. Birds were chirping. Everything looked normal again. There was a white envelope on my windshield. Inside, a check for $180. Cashable. No name on the envelope, just a sticky note. Same time tomorrow night, we'll double it.